All right, so admittedly, the biggest problem I have right now is not taking full advantage of social media. I honestly am not a social media person. Like, it is very hard for me to post consistently every day. So, we're gonna build out a shortcut today that's gonna look at my feed, it's gonna grab a piece of content for me, it's gonna rewrite the headline for me, it's gonna give me the URL, and all I have to do is literally post it to whichever place I want it to be posted to. And it's gonna be based on a time automation, which means it's gonna happen every single day at the exact same time. So let me show you how we're going to build that out today. All right, so let me run down to you the quick apps we're going to be using just in case you stumbled on this video. We're going to be using Shortcut. This is Shortcuts right here. This is the only app in this entire video that you must have. It's 100% free. It's made by Apple. The other one that I'm using for my text editor, if you want to know what that is going to be Runestone, which is right here. This one right here allows me to do some pretty cool stuff. So as you can see, most people use it as a coding editor. Looks like this is Markdown right here. So it's pretty cool. That's going to be my text editor. And then the final app that I'm going to be using that's going to allow me to rewrite things. I'm pretty sure you know it's an AI tool, and that's going to be ChatGPT for iPad, which is right here. Now I have all of these already installed. Guess I can update this since I didn't know it needed an update, but this is what we're going to be using. I'm sure you're familiar with ChatGPT, but once you have those three installed, we can move on to the next step. All right, so here we are at Shortcuts. I'm going to just click the plus button, and we're going to rename this, and I'm going to call it iShare Video, and I'm going to add share to it just so I know not to delete or anything like that. I'm going to actually rename it. I'm going to make that a capital S, make that a lowercase I. Okay, let's try it again. Cool. And I'm going to hit enter. That's what I want right there. Now, I don't know why I always like changing this to orange. I know it's my favorite color, but I guess we can, let's see, chat. Okay, we can use this one right here. And that's going to be our icon. Now, really quickly, best practices, we want to add in a comment for what this shortcut is supposed to be about. And here it is right here. I'm going to say copy. I'm going to paste it in, and I'm going to actually add this above, which is the URL. So you're going to need this, which is right here. So you're going to use this right here, and you're going to add to it. So you can see this right here is what we need to be able to pull our feed from YouTube. Or if you're using some other thing like a blog or something like that, usually if you just put /feeds, you'll be able to find it. With YouTube, it's a little bit more interesting on how you find it. So let me show you really quickly how I was able to get my channel ID, which is right here. In order to find our channel ID, we're going to jump over to YouTube, and I'm just going to type in how to find your channel ID on YouTube 2024. This should be the first thing that pop up, find your channel ID, and it should be Google Help page. You're going to click it. Once you click on it, you don't want to sign into YouTube and follow these steps. Now, if you're not signed in, then it might be a good idea to click here to sign in first. But as you can see, I'm already signed in over here. So I can just click on advanced settings. And because I'm already logged in, it's going to directly take me to this specific channel. And you can see that my icon is the same. So I know this is my channel ID right here. This is my user ID. And then this is my channel ID right here. So I'm able to copy this. And you can see right here, now that I copied it, I can leave up out of there. I can come over here, and what I can do is I can say Control V, and I want to make sure I paste it right here. Now, if I'm not sure if I paste it right there, I could backspace this, and it should look just like that. So if your URL looks like this, where it looks like it's broken, it broke down at a certain point, then it's correct. If this is sitting on the line by itself, you have to lower it just to make sure it actually connects. All right, so I'm gonna just remove this because I'm gonna leave this in the feed for you, and I'm gonna put it together over here in my notes. So I could just grab this, copy it, and I can come up there and I can paste it in. And now you can see this is how it will look. All right. Now, first things first, when it comes to looking at our feed, because we have to pull the data from our feed, it's a few ways we can do that, but I'm going to show you the way I prefer to do it, because you could just use a random item, get random item, and it'll be a counter that goes up. But honestly, I don't like to do it like that. I feel like it's a better way to do it. So let me show you that way. Okay, so the first things first, if we want to pull, we want to this feed. We want to see how many items is on this feed, and we want to be able to randomly select an item from this feed. So in order to do that, we're going to start with random. which is random number right here. And we're going to make the minimum, I'm going to say 0, and I'm going to make the max 99, 9,999. I don't have that many videos on YouTube, but that would ensure that it always get all of them that I'm picking from the entire pool, and I'm not being stuck with, 1 to 20, and it's just constantly switching between 1 to 20. So I grab this. The next one I want to use is get item. This is what we're looking for right here. Get item from RSS feed, which is right here. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to drop it down right there. And you can see right here, we could do this. Like if we wanted to, we could just sit here and keep clicking this and it'll keep going up. But as we add in a new video, we got to always make sure this number is higher. I don't like that. To me, it takes too long. So I'm going to just say select variable and I'm going to say random number. Now, this random number between 1 and 9,999, this is going to pick between that. Once I reach this amount of videos, then hey, I can come back and raise it up to a solid 10,000. Now, we want to remove the URL that Apple puts up in there because that's not what we want. What we want to put in there is our personal channel URL. So this is my channel's feed URL. So I'm going to just copy it and then I'm going to paste it in, making sure there's no spaces, making sure I don't see it look like this, because if it looked like that, it's wrong. So I'm going to make sure I backspace it and everything is connected. And at that point, I can hit return to leave up out of there. All right. The next one I want to do is I want to get. So I'm going to do a get item from list because this is considered a list. And what I want to do is I'm going to say RS item. I'm going to make this, let's see, what do we want it to be? Want it to be a random item. So it's going to look at this RSS feed and it's going to grab a random item. We could make it first item, last item, item at index, item at range. We could do all that, but I think random is the best because we already took care of it right here. All right. Next, what I want to do is I want to use an action called get article details. Now, this is an action you should get very familiar with because it's extremely powerful if you want to do anything with the internet. So what I want to do right here is I want to get the name. Now you could get the title, but in this case, the title is the name. Now, if we want to test it or debug it to make sure it's working the way we intend for it to do, we can always throw in a show results. This just allows to make sure that we're actually pulling from this feed, we're actually grabbing a random item, and the name is going to pop up, which should be the title. And when I click play, as you can see, that's what we get. Now, the downside to this is there will be times where it's going to pull a short instead of an actual video, which is okay. We're not complaining about it, but you have to remember this RSS feed for YouTube has our actual full-length videos as well as our shorts videos in it. So this is another reason why I didn't want to just automatically publish it, but we know it worked, so I can say done. Now, if I click on name and come down to title and I click play again, we should get the exact same thing. And as you can see, we do get the exact same thing. So it's up to you. If you want to have it as title, you can have it as title. If you want to have it as name, you can have it as name. For best practices, since we do want the title, I'm going to leave it at title. The next thing I want is the URL. The reason why I need another get article. So I need get article, get details of article. And for this one, I need the URL. All right. I'm going to delete that because that's not what I want. I'm going to select this variable. And we want, when you come to this, it's important you get the item from random from list. We don't want the RSS feed. We want whatever this random item is because that's what's going to match this title. So we want to make sure item from list matches. So now if I click play, we should get the YouTube. So the last one is the YouTube. So that's exactly what we're supposed to have. Now, with this, we're going to run into a bottleneck, and that is I need to be able to copy two things to the clipboard. But as you know, with the iPad, you can only copy one thing to the clipboard. And if you copy something else to the clipboard, then the thing that you copied prior to that gets deleted, and whatever's the last thing on the clipboard, that's what gets saved. So to get around that limitation, I'm going to show you how we're going to copy the URL to the clipboard, because we don't want the URL to be the last thing on the clipboard, but we do want to be able to go to the clipboard and retrieve the URL when we need it by itself without having to delete and clean it up. If that makes sense. If it don't, just keep watching. I'll show you. All right. So to do this, we need an app called Paste. And I guess I should have said this over here, but I'll go to the App Store really quickly and show it to you. Now, I used to pay for Paste, but after I switched over to Setapp, I no longer pay for Paste. It comes with it, which is this right here. So this is activated through my Setapp account. So this is what I use. This is what you need right here to make this work. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to come over here and I want to type in Paste. And the only one we're looking for right here is create new item. Very important when you use create new item. So I'm going to put this right here and you can see that is acting up. So I'm just going to close out and go back in. All right. Now that we're back in, let's try it again. I'm going to type in Paste. I'm going to click on Paste and I'm going to say plus. That's exactly what we wanted. And for the content, I actually want to copy this URL. And if you look down here, they actually gave us variables that relate to the title and the URL. So I'm just going to click on URL because that's what I want. Then I can hit enter. The next thing I need is to be able to fix my headline. So in order to fix my headline, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, say ChatGPT, if I can spell. I'm going to click right here. I'm going to say ask ChatGPT. And here's the message that I want to ask them, which is right here. Now, what I have it doing is it's going to give it a headline. So I'm just having ChatGPT to rewrite that headline and make sure that it grabs the reader's attention and is based on curiosity. That's its only parameters it has. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it in here. I'm going to put this right, put my cursor in between the two quotations. And what I want to do is for the title. Now, I'm going to click and hit enter to leave up out of there. And what I want to do is show results. I want to make sure this is working. The only thing we're going to see that's working is this. If it worked, it should grab this title, whatever this title is, it should pop it in right here and it should output it. So to make sure that works, I'm going to say show results. Now, for me, mine might do a little bit extra, like it might explain to me why it picked the headline it picked, because that's baked into my actual GPTs. So don't just look past that, okay? If it does it. So I'm going to say play, and you can see it's working down here on it. And you can see it gave me unlock your creativity. It says unlock your creativity, dive into my cutting edge 2024 iPad creative workflow. Part 2. I definitely didn't write that. It definitely rewrote that headline and it's working exactly how I wanted it to. Now, it says, unlock your creativity, dive into, okay, it just said the same thing twice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off show and run, because it showed it when it ran it and then it showed the result of what it said. So that's why you're saying it twice. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I can delete this because I confirmed that it's working. I can close that back up. I'm actually going to add in a nothing just so I can get a little bit of space. Drop it down there. And the next thing I want to do is add in my text box, because now it's time for us to actually create our post. So let's say text, which is right here. So I'm just going to grab it, drop it right there. And this is going to be really simple because we're using this stuff up here. So I know I want the top of it to be the headline, and then I could say, check it out here. And check it out here is the URL. So now this is what I have. This is all I need for this is a headline and URL. All right. So if I click play, it's going to do its thing. And now, okay, let's say show results. I thought it would just naturally update it, but because I put that nothing at the end, it stopped it from outputting the last thing. I can say show results, click play again, and now you can see that this is how my post is going to look. It gives the headline and it gives a URL. The cool thing about it is I can pull whatever piece of content I want, and the headline will always be unique and different from anything else on my post, on my feed. And yeah, it'll be promoting the same videos. I like that a lot, actually. And it makes me more likely to post, which is most important. Okay, so now I want to open a URL. So I can say open URL, which is right here. I'm going to drop that right there. Okay, well, I tried to drop it right there. Try it again. Make sure it's not at the top. It's not. Great. Okay, so I'm going to actually clear this. And what I want to open up is this right here. I wanted to open up this web page for me because I want the option to be able to grab the thumbnail if I need it, depending upon where I'm posting it. If it's Twitter, then I probably don't need it. I probably want it if it's Twitter, but I don't need it. But if it's Mastodon, I definitely don't need to grab the thumbnail because Mastodon just gonna embed the video, which is I like that better. So for Mastodon, I could probably say watch this video or something like that versus check it out here. But for Twitter, I want to be able to embed the thumbnail. So I'm gonna have that there. Next, I want to grab a weight. Now, this wait command, I'm probably going to have to play with it, but I'm going to give myself about maybe 16 seconds just to make sure I got enough time. And what I want to do now is I'm going to go here and I'm going to say open app. And I'm going to come down here. Now, honestly, this would be much easier for me if I just used a split screen if I was using an iPad. But because I'm more than likely going to be running this from my actual phone, that doesn't make sense. So we're going to do it like this. I'm going to say X, scroll all the way down, and there we have it. Now, I can make sure everything is turned off, and this is it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say play. I'm going to remove nothing because I no longer need that. This shortcut is completed. So I'm going to say play, and we're going to actually do this for real. So I'm going to say play right now. It should take me over here. Now I should be able to grab my keyboard, show keyboard, come over to paste, allow, and clipboard history. And this is what I want. Right now, you can see that 16 seconds wasn't long enough. It's currently opening up Twitter for me, but I can come back over to paste. And what I can do is I can click right there. And now I can say return. And when I press down, you can see it gives me the thumbnail sizes. So I'm able to copy this thumbnail and paste it if I want to. But first, let's go over to Twitter or X. I'm going to say plus. I'm going to paste this in. Okay, so we can see something went wrong because the YouTube thumbnail shouldn't be there. It should be, what should be on my clipboard is the normal one. So maybe I didn't copy it to my clipboard. Okay, let's go back and let's see where we went wrong. So let's come back over to the shortcut. And where we went wrong at is we never actually copied it to the clipboard. So in order to copy it to the clipboard, we're just going to say copy to clipboard, which is right here. And we should be good to go. Now, we want to make sure that, let's see, where is it? Clipboard history. So we want to make sure this is copied to clipboard history and not to the normal clipboard. Trust me, it's a different, because this is going to be copied to the normal clipboard and this is going to be copied to the clipboard history. So let's try it again. We're going to click play. It's doing this thing. It opened up for me and I can bring this up. Normally I wouldn't have to do all these steps because I would be on my phone. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say paste, and you can see it brought up Twitter, which is fine. Clearly we would need more time. I'm going to paste this URL because that's the newest one on there. So I would be able to grab this if I wanted it, which is kind of cool. Now let's go over to Twitter. I'm going to click right here and I'm going to go back to my normal keyboard, Command V. Let's show keyboard, show, let's see here, clipboard history, paste. Okay, so guess you get to see me troubleshoot. Let's find out what's going wrong. So we have this being copied to the clipboard history. So that's copied to the clipboard history. And we have this text being copied. Why does it expire at 3 p.m.? Local only. That doesn't make sense. Open, shortcuts. Then we see app. All right, so let's play this and let's see what actually gets. Let's see. Okay, so I'm not going to do this right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait on it to bring me over here, which it should be doing in a few seconds. And I think it just looks like it did. So allow paste, and now it's doing it. So, okay, and this is the part I was talking about. But for whatever reason, it's saying I have to confirm it. So let's see, why is it asking me to confirm it? Because is not doing that on my other ones. So let's come down here and see. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to, and it keep jumping me back to that keyboard. I'm not sure why. So let's say copy to clipboard. I'm going to drop down on that. Local only, expire at. Okay, so none of that stuff applies. And we're going to close out shortcuts just to make sure that it's not glitching, because I do understand I'm running a beta. All right, so here we have it. So what we can do, technically, if we didn't want to deal with the wait time, we could literally just have it set up like this, and then we just swap back to this specific app if we wanted to. So if I delete this, delete the wait time, and just have it open up X, then land me on YouTube thumbnail, that'll work as well. So let's say, make sure everything is at play. All right, so what I want to do is first, I want to cancel that, so delete. Now I want to say plus, and I want to see what's on my clipboard. There we go. Now it's working the way it intended. But first, let's make sure it's actually working, because now I'm supposed to be able to come over here, click on the keyboard, show keyboard, switch over to paste keyboard, and there we go. We can see, you can see that right there for me. Now I can say get thumbnail, and it's gonna actually get the thumbnail of the video. Now we cooking. So now I can come over here, save this to my photos. Then after that, I'm able to come over here and upload it. So I'm able to grab it right here, say add, and now we have exactly what I was looking for. We have unlock expert navigation skills, download this game-changing Apple Maps shortcut. So that's kind of whack. So what I could do is I'm gonna switch back over to my normal keyboard. So I might want to take this off. And game-changing, I feel like it's overused, so I wouldn't use game-changing. I would say download this shortcut here, and I think I would rather say here's the link. So here's a better way to use maps. Download this shortcut, or I could say download this shortcut dot. Okay, so here's a better way to use maps. Download this shortcut. Here's the link. That's the image, and I could post it. So as you can see, it takes a little time, but now if we come back over here again to this shortcut again, we can actually run it again, and we should get something totally different from what we just had. So you can see it open up both of them. And now you can see where allow paste. So I guess when this keyboard is open, that's the drawback. So I guess that's a glitch I didn't know about, but I won't have that keyboard open anymore since I know that's the bottleneck. All the same, I can come back over here, and let's see here, I can come to post, and I can, well, it's right here for me to post it. And you can see right here, it says unlock your creative genius inside my cutting edge 2024 iPad setup part 2. I kind of like that. Creative genius. I like creative genius. I like that a lot, actually. Now, if we wanted to, we can come back over here and we can grab the thumbnail. We can say get thumbnail, and we can see this is it right here. So it works fairly well. I didn't know about the bug. Now, again, I'm on a beta, so you might not have that. But now that I know that I can't be on this specific one, so if I click plus, now that I know I can't be here, it's okay because it wants me to confirm it. Plus, my keyboard just switching by itself back and forth. So yeah, don't try to record on a beta because it sucks. So now if we come back over here, close out all of this stuff, we can see this is the shortcut. So when you get this, again, remember, I took away the wait time and I switched it over to X, but you can put whatever you want right here. I'm going to actually clear out this. You can put, you see, it just switched back to my keyboard. It's quite frustrating. So I'm going to say close that. I'm going to actually do it like that. Hopefully the keyboard don't pop back up. This URL for grabbing the thumbnail, I'm going to actually remove this. I'm going to put it up here in the show notes. Well, it's not the show notes, but I'll put it up here just in case you want it. So if you want to be able to grab your thumbnails, you can grab it from up here. So that's the URL. And yeah, that's everything you need is up in the comments area. So you got your feed, so you know how to get to your feed, as well as you have your thumbnail grabber, and you also have, well, what the purpose of this is. And this shows you how to set it up. How's it going? Will here. And if you're enjoying this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. On this channel, I teach you how to boost your productivity by leveraging automation and technology so that you can have more time to create the things you enjoy. Let's talk automation. All right, so as promised, everything now is pretty much done. The only thing we have to do now is to turn this into an automation, meaning something that happens automatically every single time, independent of me. So in order to do that, we're going to take note of the name iShare video, and then we're going to just come over here and we're going to scroll all the way up. And we're going to come to where it says automation. Now, on this specific iPad, this is like my work iPad, meaning where I do all the videos and all that other cool stuff. Believe it or not, I mainly use my iPad mini more than I use this iPad if I'm not doing tutorials. But we're going to hit the plus button. I'm going to make this a time of day. And I want the time of day to be maybe, let's make it 11. I feel like 11 a.m. is a good time. So let's make it 11 a.m. Let's see if it'll let me change that. Okay, maybe I can't change it with my mouse. I had to use my finger. So 11 a.m. every day. I want an alarm to go off, time of day, 11 a.m. I want it to be daily, and I want this to run immediately. So I'm going to say next, and then I'm going to say iShare, and this is the one that's going to run. So now every day at 11 a.m. daily, that when my alarm go off, this is gonna run. The cool thing about it is everything gonna be opened up to, it's gonna automatically open up everything on my iPad. It's gonna automatically do what it needs to do. And all I have to do is literally copy it. This is the beauty of this. So I don't have to worry about getting stuck or anything like that. Now, I'm going to disable this on here because on here it doesn't make sense because this would be an automation for my phone. And since automations don't translate over, I'm going to actually do this exact same automation just like I just showed you now on my phone because honestly, that's where it's going to be most useful. All right, so in this video, we touched on a really important part and I don't want you to glaze over, and that is artificial intelligence. If you're not using artificial intelligence inside of your content creation, inside of your job, inside of your everyday life, honestly, you're missing out. I created a video. You can click on it right here, and I'm going to walk you through how to make sure your ChatGPT or your tool is optimized for you. Now, in this video, I use ChatGPT, but it should be the same across all AI tools. You want to make sure it's customized to you and it knows who you are, so it'll tailor the answers more so to you than just a generic answer. With that being said, till next time, later.